Right, good evening, everybody. My name is Chris and my partner Lucinda, and we are dialing in from a very, very hot cooking Johannesburg, South Africa. And welcome everybody to the Thursday night training. And we're going to be talking about catch parties and live presentations. Now, a lot of you guys know we've just done a trip to Nelspruit for last week. We did a whole lot of presentations, which was very, very, very successful. And that spurred us on to make a decision to do a country trip. But before I speak about that, I first want to talk about Zoom as an example. Listen, Zoom calls are very, very powerful. Zoom calls is what I think played a role in saving a lot of companies through COVID because we were still able to carry on and do business during the pandemic that we all went through. I wish I bought shares in Zoom just before COVID kicked in because within 3 months after COVID kicked in, I think the shares went up by 6,000%. So talk about being in the right place at the right time. But thank goodness for Zoom because in the past we were all used to physical meetings only, and what COVID did was we had to adapt. We had to make a plan to sink or swim, and society, human beings, we all stuck together, and we all pulled through together. And what I find so amazing is during a period that this world went through a very, very tough stage, there's one thing that I noticed is that human beings have still got that beautiful human element of sticking together as a community. We all stuck together as communities and pulled through together. And so we started getting very used to Zoom calls. And so good to see Robin on the call from Botswana. So good to see you. Paige, good to see you as well. Um, your guys' ears are going to ring just now because I'm actually going to be talking about you. So, so as I say, so we all met through Zoom, which I am beyond grateful. I would not be part of LifeWave if it wasn't for Zoom, because you guys know my story. George saw me on the call, and thank God George saw me on the call where I wasn't looking good, and that's how he told me about LifeWave, and this is how we're all here today. But but what I want to do is I want to go a little bit back to where we come from as human beings. Human beings by nature need to be belly to belly with other human beings. It's something that we've always done. It's something that I can see Audrey nodding her head. You can become quite isolated if we don't have that physical connection. And so what we did was we were still brand new, we were wet behind the ears. We just signed up for LifeWave. We were ignorant on fire. We were just running around, just talking to people. And all of you guys know Sandy Feast. Sandy joined in January, and I think it was about February. Lucinda sent a message to Sandy and said, on Tuesday, we're coming to your house at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to come and do a presentation for you. And she was like, okay, what do I do? I said, just invite some people. Just come over, let us come and present for you. And when it comes to presenting, what I found, uh, anybody can actually do a presentation because all you have to do is read it. I've done it in such a way that every single thing is written, because some people say, no, Chris, there's a bit too much writing, maybe. I said, no, there's purposefully like that because this is all about duplication, because there's a lot to take in and a lot to remember. And I can see Paige nodding her head as well. So I've done it in such a way that anybody can do a presentation. But let me give you a statistic. Did you know that 97% of people fear public speaking more than they fear death? 97%. Yes, that's statistic. Yeah, I can see all the hands going up. Um, so I've done it in such a way that you can actually sit in a very relaxed setting in a person's home, and you can sit on a couch and just basically go through it. I put the video clips in as well, purposefully at certain stages. And guess how many people we had in February at Sandy's first patch party presentation? Three. Three people. That was Mm-hmm.
And just to interject there, at that stage, we only had our sleeve of patches. No banners, no flyers, no business cards, no other products. Us and the product.
That's all we
That's
had.
it.
That's all we had. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we started. And that's where we want to encourage everybody to start, right?
Yep.
Start with what you have. Sorry.
No, and that's all we did was we just decided, okay, now we need to patch 3 human beings. You know, how exciting that was. We're like, hey, you, come here, put your hair up. And they're like, what? We're patching you. Next one, patch, patch. And we're so excited just to get patches on people. And, that's what it's all about. We've all heard the saying, the proof is not in the pudding, the proof is in the patch, and let the patch do the work. So that's how we got the ball rolling. And that's where we started. And then the next Tuesday, I think we had 4 people at the next presentation, and then we just built it up from there. And guys, we did this at Sandy's home. That's where we started, in her lounge at home. All we did was had the TV, we plugged the laptop in, and that's how we started. And then from there, we built it up. And then we've got one of our team members by the name of Jan. She stays just up the road from Sandy, and she owns a guest house, and she's got a facility where it can take about 40 people. And she put her hand up and said, yes, please come and present. So, this is where it starts off, in a home, and then it starts branching out, because what happens is, as people start to join and become part of the family, everybody knows people in different sectors and different industries, and they might say, I've got a friend that's got a guest house, or a bowling club, or a library, or something like that. And that's how you get the ball rolling. So, Helen, start with one person in your home, and then we take it to the next level, the next level, the next level. And all it is, it can start with just one person in your home. And we had the patch party on Tuesday morning, 10 o'clock, right? So we kept the Tuesday mornings, 10 o'clock, 34 people.
Yep.
34 people. And that's how we've completely just built it up. But we started in Sandy's living room with 3 people. And that's what I want to kind of get across, where people are going, oh, but I don't have a venue. I don't have a big projector and banners and flyers. And that. You don't have to.
And don't wait.
And don't wait.
Don't
Just
wait
start
for
small and
everything.
build it up from there. And you'll see how it starts to get a life of its own, the way it just starts to unfold. And I just wanted to share with you guys that that's where we started 11 months ago, and build it from there. So what we've done from there is built up a couple of the presentations in Johannesburg, in South Africa. And then we did our first little sort of semi road trip a week ago. We went to an area called Nelspruit. Now, those of you guys who are not from South Africa, that's a little bit 4 hours from Johannesburg up north. And we did the presentations at a country club, a golfing country club. And guys, the rates at country clubs and bowling clubs are very, very reasonable. You're looking at about 300 Rand for the whole 4 or 5 hours. And if you work that out, we just say to people that Rand partners, pay 50 Rand towards coming, just so that you can get the cost of the venue covered. So we're not looking at big money. Conference centers, holy moly, these guys are looking at 7,000 Rand and they only want to do it for half the day. So we don't need to go there. We don't need to do that. You start off bowling clubs and sports clubs, and we found libraries, which Lucinda will touch on just now. So anyway, we had a very, very successful trip in Nelspruit. And wow, let me tell you, um, a, a public presentation where you've got physical people, the I'll let you talk about that now. But before I jump into that, it's just so nice to stand in front of people, see people, and hug them, and there's just no words to explain it. I'm actually just going to hand, because there's a couple of things that you want to talk about that I want to touch on, and I want to. Okay, I'm handing it over to you. You
It's
go.
okay.
You go.
It's okay. Evening, everybody. So, yes, and also just to say, patch parties and the road trip is what we're doing to help the team, right? First and foremost. Chris and I can stay home here where it's cozy and we have our luxuries, but we choose to go out and get you all set up and so that you can benefit from this, just like we were helped in the beginning. So I want you guys to just keep that in your heart and really grab this opportunity with both hands and run with us. So I'm going to start with the topic of frequency, right? So life wave is frequency, and that we know. And it's a proven science that everything around us is frequency, it's energy. So we get asked often, why do we patch at a patch party? Does one patch really make a difference? We have seen one patch wonders, yes, but often one patch doesn't show results. However, the psyche around this, and we've proven it over time and tested it, so I'll get to that a little bit later, is the impact that a crowd of people that are patched can have. So I call it experiencing the patch to make it simple. People might feel, oh, a patch. What does it feel like? Am I going to feel lightheaded? Am I going to feel dizzy? Is it going to scratch me? You know, am I going to feel like I'm on cloud nine? They wonder about these things, you know. Um, is it going to make them feel out of sorts? By placing a patch on them, they can actually experience and put their mind at ease that they feel fine. Doesn't make them feel queasy or anything like that. Just like you nowadays can go to all the nice fancy ice cream parlors and you can pre-taste the ice creams before you select your choice. Something similar to that. So that's the one reason. So people are curious. So how is this going to feel? What am I going to experience? So that's the one reason. Then there's a power in the collective. All the people in one space being on the same frequency. It's almost like they are all tuned in to the same radio station. They're hearing the same story. This way, they are tuned into the presentation. They take more in, and it's a collective energy. They hear the message, they're more open and receptive to it. Now, we have tested this at different events where we've done events where people are patched and events where people were not patched. And the difference in the joy, the happiness, the overall excitement in the room versus a group of unpatched people where almost like the energy in the room was clinical, like stiff, like scratchy, you know, we've definitely seen a difference. So that's our reasoning around wanting to do a patch party where preferably everybody is packed. There's a certain energy and a certain frequency that comes with that, and people are just tuned in and turned on and hear what the message is. It's almost like they're ready to receive. At times, we've also used the ice wave right in the beginning, where beforehand we would ask people who's got some pain and maybe patch 2 or 3 people. Half an hour into the presentation, we would ask them how they're feeling. Often they would feel sensations, some heat, or some pain lifting. So that's also something that we like to do. The magic in the live presentations is that people are more focused. They're not distracted like in a Zoom where they can go off and have a meal or do the dishes or get distracted with different things. So here they are focused and they absorb more, they take more in. Most of the times we have brand partners that will give a live, real life testimony. And that's a powerful thing. I'll just touch on something that happened in White River. The lady that was hosting at Penny at the last event stood up and gave her testimony for her husband, and somebody else that she patched. She came with so much passion and so much joy and the excitement, and everybody could feel her heart that we walked away. And the lady that was there through somebody else immediately decided that was the turning point for her, and she signed up at Diamond. So there's so much power in people hearing the physical talk from somebody from the heart. So that's the other thing that happens at patch parties. Yeah, you touched on Sandy and all of that. So what I want to also then just point out to make it easy, calculation that I did. So live presentations, that's the passion. An audience that is patched, that's everybody being in frequency, plus live testimonies, real life stories from the heart equals a high sign up rate. And Chris can elaborate on that a bit more. They might not sign up there and then, but within a few days or a few weeks, they will sign up. So that is the psyche around why we do it the way we do it and how we've seen the results. We want to make sure that everybody can, at any stage, run a patch party the way they want to. If you don't want to charge, do charge, not patch, do patch. Totally open to everybody to use as they want to and as they feel comfortable. This is just what we've sort of tried and tested and have seen works the best. So in possibility, then that's a great option. I think that's it from me. And then there's the meeting after the meeting. Will you touch on that?
Yes.
Cool.
I was trying to give a person's name, but I thought biography and
Sorry.
Right, so we talk about the physical patch parties and presentations in your area. So Ryan Bolson, I don't know if you saw him on the training. That this is a training about a month ago. He's the VP, Vice President of Global Sales, and a comment that he made, I cannot get out of my head. And he said, "Water the grass where you are at." And my goodness, did that hit me right between the eyes? Water the grass where you are at. Because so many times I'll talk to somebody and they'll say, "Oh, are we open in Kazakhstan?" Really? Cuba. Come on, guys. We're in 87 countries around the world, okay? 87 is a decent amount. So water the grass where you are. So that means work local. Work local. Now we're going to notch it up. So you're working local in your neighborhood, in your area. Then think national. National means the country that you're in, and then think international. But start at your base, start at your home, start with the area where you live, which is so important. I met a guy today at the car wash. His name is Robert. Okay, don't know the guy from a bar of soap. I know he's got two kids, two boys, 9 years old, 11 years old. He's an engineer. He's been living in the area for 10 years. I was just chatting to this guy at the car wash. He drives an Audi. I drive a BMW. So that's how we started our kind of our conversation there um, about the preference of cars. And, just you start off a conversation. Do you know how I did it? His car was clean. His car, okay, my car had been on a road trip for a week going to Nelspruit, so my car was a little bit brown, okay? His car came, it was spotless, it was clean, and he put it through the car wash. So I made a comment to him, and I said, "You're cleaning a clean car." He said, "Yes, I like my cars very clean." I said, "I see that." Then started a conversation. Spoke to Robert for about half an hour. He got my card. Guess what? He already WhatsApped me this afternoon. Please send me more information. It was really awesome speaking to you. So, guys, that's what I'm talking about. Local in your area. There's so many people you can talk to. And I'm going to ask Robin to tell a little story just now when we're talking about physical catching of people, how we have a superstar, an absolute superstar in our group, and how did it actually start? I've told a couple of people the story, and now we actually have Robin on the call. I didn't know you were going to be on the call this evening, and I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself in about a minute. I put you on the spot. Sorry about that, but I think you've got such a beautiful story to share with people, going to the human interaction and how important it is just to be aware of your surroundings, because Robin was aware of her surroundings, and what has come of that is just absolutely off the charts, next level, which I'll touch on straight after Robin speaking. So let me first explain Robin coming into the business. So I met with Marlena. Marlena's been part of LifeWave since April. Now, Marlena works with Scott Bolson. Scott Bolson did an interview with me 4 years ago on his channel because I was stuck in an airport in Frankfurt for 4 days. That went viral. He got me onto the channel. That's how I got to know Molina 4 years ago. Long story short, I spoke to a friend of mine, Phil, and Phil said, "Oh, do you know Molina?" I said, "Yes, I know Molina Scott." Right. So Molina joined. She's the lady that was basically walking with a walker. She couldn't walk. When I saw her on that Monday morning, she was in a wheelchair. Molina had 21 operations on her knees, no cartilage in her knees. It was just bone on bone. And the Monday morning, myself and Lucinda both went to go see Molina. She opened up that double garage door and she came, she was like shuffling, eh? She was shuffling.
And the pain on her face,
The pain on her face, we'll never forget that day as long as we live. She was in agony from the pain. So we said to Molly, stop, just stop right there. Don't walk across, we'll come to you. So we went to her and we sat down in a lounge and we made her knees look like a Dalmatian. We patched her knees, like you have no idea. Ice wave on the side, ice wave on the side. And then we put the X39 on the top of a kneecap, right? That was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday night, Molina phoned me and said, "Chris, I need to get to Capitec Bank because I need to raise my limit and I can't do it over the phone. Can you come over?" So I said, "Not a problem." Guys, it was Friday morning. I watched that double garage door open again. I expected to see the same thing. She came walking to the car with a smile on her face. That was not the same person 5 days earlier. Molina's life is completely turned around. So anyway, Molina, she's been building the business, sharing with people because people have seen the difference. And Molina signed up a friend of hers, which then signed up Robin in Botswana. And I think Robin signed up about 4, maybe 5 months ago. And it is so amazing to have Robin on the call. And yeah, 4 months. So I'm going to hand over to you, Robin. And I want you to first say you introduced. Then what happened in December? I want you to tell us what happened in December.
So, hi everybody, and I cannot believe these two have put me on the spot like this, but I just like I know it's I am so delighted to be part of this journey, and for me it was right from the beginning when I was introduced to this. My first question was always, I didn't even know what stem cells really were. I kind of had a little bit of knowledge, but not really enough. So that was my first question. I wanted more information on stem cells and did quite a lot of research, as much as I could get. And once I sort of seen the introductory videos on Lightwave, I thought, this is it. It resonates in such a way that you just think, why didn't we know this before? It's just insane. We should all have this knowledge, and I guess we do, but we just needed somebody, a genius, to show us the way. So I then, in December, having joined and started to see some results, they're always subtle results. On my way through, every year I go to a graduation of students from Botswana who attend a college in South Africa. That is down in Graaff-Reinet. There's 2 parts of the college. One is up in Kruger and one is down in Graaff-Reinet. So I try and make the journey every year to watch our students graduate. And each year I go down there, I meet some incredible people. And on my way through, I thought, well, I'm going to overnight in Joburg and I'm going to get these two to come and meet me. So my first part of my journey was meeting Chris and Lucinda in person, and that was amazing. And we had so many different connections, and one of them obviously is Lucinda's sister actually lives in the same town as me. So that was an amazing coincidence. So we had a lot to chat about there. And we had dinner together, and the energy was amazing. It felt like we'd known each other all our lives, and we could have gone on and on and on. And we actually did end up going to bed quite late. Got up early, got down to the college, had a dinner, a presentation the next day, and I kept looking at this couple who just had a glow. I can't describe it any other way. This absolute glow, beautiful energy. And you just kind of gravitate. And I thought, I've got to get to know these people. So sat with them over a lunch, and we were all about to leave. And in that short time, we started speaking about the last 3 years and what a crazy time we've all had and going on from that. And, everybody has their own journey over the last 3 years. And for me, it's personal and it's fine. Whatever choices were made are fine. But it led from there. And I obviously had my patches on, and I said, well, I'm looking after my health. I'm on this new journey, this new technology that I think is just amazing. And, I'd like to share it with you. And I said, I've got my patch, and showed my patch on the back of the neck. And they said, oh, what's that? And we then started the conversation. And as we left, we went in convoy back to PE, and they went their way and I went my way. And we kept in touch. And it was Sandy and her husband, Grant. And Sandy reached out and she said, I'd like to hear more about this. And having come from an industry of skincare, she had knowledge on that in any case. And, we went from there and I shared and I said, it's about healing. It's about healing. I had one of my students who was sadly in 2022 injured by the jab. While he was down in South Africa, he had a stroke at the age of 25, 4 days after his booster. So I brought him home and I said to Sandy, because we were at this graduation of students, I said, my dream is to do well enough on this journey to be able to patch him for life, because he has permanent damage, he has neuropathy, and he has terrible tremors that he is not able to stop. And he's been to doctors and he's been all over. He's been to, traditional healers twice. He's been all the way to Zimbabwe, spent a fortune to go to traditional healers there. And it hasn't worked. And I just know that these patches will cure him. And that's kind of where we are. And of course, Sandy kept in touch and said, I'm really enjoying this. And I put Lucinda and Chris in touch with her and said, please, I'm in a different country. I need your help. They then met up with her, and I have never seen anybody fly with such big wings before. And yeah, I have Lucinda and Chris to thank for that. And I mean, I don't know if you see her on the group. She's constantly signing another one. And of course, Paige is in this. I haven't met Paige face to face, but I'm really looking forward to that. And she's part of Sandy related, I understand. And so, and the journey carries on. And I'm in awe. I can't wait for Sandy to teach me things. So yeah, that's kind of my story. And so it was a bit off the cuff, and I hope one day I can come to patch parties down there. And I'm really hoping Lucinda and Chris will come up to Botswana, because a lot of people need this.
Definitely. Oh, thank you, Robin. Thank you. It's so nice that we caught you off guard and you just jumped straight in there. Thank you so much. And
you can unmute me now.
Yes,
mute me.
I'll mute you. There we go. The saying said, your vibe attracts your tribe. I find all of us like-minded and like-hearted people are all starting to come together now at this crucial point. And like Robin said, we only met each other on Zoom 4 months ago. We met each other in person a month ago, and it feels like we've known each other forever. And that's starting to happen more and more often. And, I wanted Robin to share the story, because what she did was she just spoke about the patches and patched a person. And look at the way her business has completely turned around. You've heard many of the leaders say, it just takes two. It just takes two people. And we talk about blue M&Ms. And let me tell you, Sandy is definitely one of those blue M&Ms. I mean, here she is a month later. She's already doing her own presentations, patch parties, presenting Zooms. She had a Zoom with 400 people the other Tuesday night. So she's really just taking it out the ballpark. But you would never have met her had you not just spoken about the patch, because you don't know who the next person is that you're speaking to. Robert, that I met today from the car wash, I don't know who Robert knows, but I made the decision to just start talking to him. So yeah, nothing like that human interaction. Then I want to ask Paige to unmute. Now, Paige has had the experience of a lot of Zoom calls, and she's also been to the presentations. Paige, give us your feedback on Zooms are great. I absolutely love Zooms. We're all connecting now. We can all see each other. But tell us what you've experienced or what you feel that's a little bit different when you're at a physical presentation.
Hello. Here you're also having me on the spot, but let's go for it. Um, so I mean, like Robin said, I heard about the patches through my aunt, and I heard about them on the Monday, and she was like, "There's a presentation on Tuesday at Sandy Feast's house. Just come." And so I dropped absolutely everything that I had going. I told my work, I was like, sorry, I won't be there. I've got something else to do. And I was like, Robin, like it just got me instantly. I just got it. I was like, everyone should be doing this. This is what we should be doing. And so I then went to Sandy Feast's presentation on the Tuesday morning. And then Lucinda, you and I landed up speaking afterwards. And I got patched. Instantly. And the first thing that started happening for me was this weird sensitivity on my actual, this bone where we put the X39. Almost felt as though someone had bruised it, like as if someone had punched me on that bone, and it was quite sort of sensitive. But I then knew that the patch was doing something. And I think that comes down to how everybody knows their own body. And in the times that I've been speaking to people, I was telling Lucinda earlier today, I've been dealing with pretty much every objection on the list. And one of them has been placebo. But I know myself. And when that started happening, I was like, this is working. And my mom needs to be on this. So after having felt what that felt like, which I wouldn't have felt if I was doing it via Zoom. I then rushed home and I was like, Mom, you need to buy 19 sleeves. Like, you need all of this that you can possibly get. And the minute those patches arrived, I Dalmatianed her. She wears pretty much every patch that there is, because she has so much to gain from it just because of where she is personally. So yeah, I think it was amazing. And the wonderful thing about seeing Sandy Feast do it was that I felt like I could do it. And so I did that on the Tuesday. And by the Sunday, I had hosted my own patch party. Um, and I had not rehearsed the slides. I was just like, I'm just going to stand up there and I'm going to speak through what's on these slides, which, Chris, is what you were saying. And also to the point that you made earlier about just watering the grass where you're standing. I had invited some people and some people had come, but when I counted out the number of attendees that I had, I made sure to include the people who actually live in this house and didn't have a choice on whether or not to be there. I was like, you are all counting on my list. I needed that confidence. But yeah, for me, I attend pretty much every in-person thing that I am able to, including Sandy, my aunt, who's not Sandy Feast, Sandy Ashfield. Whenever she's hosting something, I go and I support. And it's like what Lucinda says about just staying plugged in because the energy is contagious. And even if I'm doing my aunt's supporting at her presentations, like I'm not doing it for my own benefit. I'm just doing it because I love the product and I love the energy that I walk out of the room with after I've been with a bunch of people who are seeing what I saw. So yeah, I'm doing my next patch party on Sunday, and I'll let you know how it goes.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Paige. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for your input. I love what you said there. The meeting after the meeting. So, so important there. Um, like Paige was saying, she connected with Lucinda. And then 2 weeks ago, we had the patch party in Bedford View. And then we went out for lunch afterwards. And that's where we connected. And that's where we talk about the meeting after the meeting, which is just absolutely beautiful to watch and beautiful to see. Right, then who else am I calling on the spot is Dr. Ali. Dr. Ali from the UK. So nice to see you on the call this evening. Dr. Ali's been part of Lifeway for also just over a year now, and we've walked a very long path together, and we've communicated quite a lot. Dr. Ali has done a lot of presentations with us, and let me tell you, such an inspiration, and to have you part of the group and the input that you give is so valuable. And I just want to say thank you in front of everybody for the input that you give to the entire community. with your background, because sometimes we get a little bit stuck and some people ask some of these technical questions and you just come and go, bam, and I go, where did she get that info from? She's amazing. So, Dr. Ali, thank you for
You're
everything you do
welcome.
for
Thank you
us.
for your inspiration yourself. And at the end of the day, always remember George is right. What George says is the answer to every question. 90 days of X39, or preferably 90 days plus a month for every decade of life. That's the answer to every question about patches.
Now you've experienced a lot of Zooms and you've also experienced physical meetings. Tell us what you have experienced and the feeling that you have when it comes to the physical meeting.
Well, I tried to have a physical party and nobody came. So that's my only experience of the physical meetings. So Zoom is great. It's just finding the right words to attract people into in person. Actually, I did have to go to the one in London. So yeah, so Gina and yeah, the Merits came to London and I went to that one. And it was great. The lawyer who is in their downline, but not our team, seemed to have managed to get about 100, 200 people to the meeting, which was quite incredible. And people were given patches to put on. And it was nice to be meeting people in person. I just think that we have having the flexibility of Zoom is so fantastic. It saves time and it saves traveling. But I am sure that in-person parties are a very important way of managing this, because if you've got somebody in pain, you can put some X39 or even ice wave on and you can get tangible results. And we want people to experience tangible results. It's finding the right words to attract them to the party. That's the thing.
You will get there. Once you have your first person at your first patch party, watch where the ball gets rolling from there. Like I say, Sandy's first meeting, we had 3 people. And I think she probably invited maybe 10 for 3 people to come, or maybe 20. And it's just a process of just not giving up and just keep inviting, keep inviting. Awesome. Thanks for that, Ellie. I appreciate that. Thank you. Right, now I'm going to share something very different, very strange, a little bit off the charts. I'm going to tell you guys a story that a lot of you guys have probably never heard before, and how we probably all got to be sitting here as well, and having a duplicatable system in the network marketing industry. Started off with 2 drunk people in 1935. That's how it all started. And he's probably thinking, what is Chris talking about, drunk people in 1935? All right. The network marketing industry started 136 years ago, right? And that was just the systems trying to get put into place and people sharing with people. But let me tell you where the duplicatable system came into place was the formation of AA. Now, we're not talking about Automobile Association. We're talking about Alcoholics Anonymous, was formed in 1935. So how this all started was Dr. Bob and Bill Wilson. Now, Bill Wilson was an alcoholic during the 1921 stock market crash, right? And went through depression, lost a lot of money, and kept drinking and then off drinking, and drinking, off drinking caused chaos in his life. He was about 6 months sober, and he went to an area called Archon in the USA. And it was a Saturday afternoon, and he just finished meeting with some prospects, and he was in the hotel room. And what happened was, when Bill Wilson was walking in the hotel room, he walked across the lobby, and in the lobby was the sound of the bar, the smell, the ambiance, the sound, and it pulled him in. Now, he hasn't touched a drop of alcohol in 6 months, and he walked to the bar and he ordered a drink, and he put the money down, and he ran out. And he went to the receptionist and said, I'm looking for another alcoholic in the town. So he said, yes, we actually do have an alcoholic. And his name is Dr. Bob, a doctor, medical doctor, alcoholic. He said, I need to go see him. They phoned up. He went to go see him. And he said, right, how can I help you? He said, I believe you're an alcoholic. So am I. Can we sit and have a talk? They sat and spoke for 6 hours and 45 minutes. That's how long their first meeting was. And they both said, we don't feel like drinking today. Oh my goodness. You know what? Let's meet tomorrow. Okay, what time are you available? They met the next day. And they suddenly felt like they didn't want to drink because they were talking about their stories with each other. Long story short, about a week later, they said, I know somebody else that has got a problem that we can go and help. Let's call them in and let's have a meeting. The three of them got together and had a meeting, and that mushroomed off. And then it became 5 people, became 10 people, became 30, became 50. Before they knew it, within a 4-month period, they had over 100 people in the meeting and they were all staying sober. And guess what happened from there? It branched off to the next little suburb, the next little town. Right now, as you're sitting here right now, there's over 100,000 meetings happening in any 24-hour cycle throughout the world. And that's Alcoholics Anonymous program. Now, what happened was we've all heard of Amway. I think it was, I can't remember what their names are. They were recovering alcoholics and they went to one of the meetings and they saw how it was duplicatable. Every meeting is exactly the same. They've got a thing called the preambles and certain things that they read. So every single meeting, wherever you are in the world, starts off exactly the same. And that they saw as a duplicatable process. And that's what they put into the Network 21 system. And that all came from the Alcoholics Anonymous program. So I thought I'd just share that with everybody today. And the reason why I'm sharing that is when we're talking about, but only one person came to my meeting. That's where it all started. Just one person. And that's how it starts to just multiply and duplicate from there. So another person I want to ask to talk is Evelyn from Switzerland. Now, sorry to put you on the spot, but I just had to. Evelyn has also she
Hi.
spent a lot of times on the Zooms, and then you and Brigitte were here end of last year, and you came to the same patch party. And tell us, what did you experience at the physical meeting, Evelyn?
Yeah, it was interesting to see people coming together. Um, I mean, we've heard the presentation several times by then. There was nothing new in there, but it was interesting to see all the expectations, maybe some skepticism. Yeah, it was fun. It was good to see. And I'm actually having my own first next Monday, my patch
Yes.
party at home.
Well done.
Oh, well done in
I actually
Switzerland.
invited about
Yay.
80 people. Well, I just sent out invitations. I'm really up to starting something new. So some people know what I'm doing, others don't. And I asked them, I gave them 3 dates, and I asked them to let me know when they want to come because I don't have that much space. So I got about 10 people that are for the 3 days actually that they came back and they want to come and see. So some are already registered, others aren't. Some are patched, but not yet registered. So it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Well done, Evelyn. Well
That's
done. So
cool.
proud of
I'm,
you.
I'm really
Wow.
ready. I can tell them. And actually, I need to add something because we just
Sure.
had this week a call from our what is it? The lady who takes care of the German part of the world, like Germany, Austria, Switzerland. So it's actually getting started here. All what we've been waiting for and trying to fix ourselves and getting ready. So I have a very good feeling that it's actually getting started. So that's
Oh,
cool.
awesome. Thank you,
Yeah.
Evelyn. And give us your
Fun.
feedback and put photos on the group. Photos on the group.
Yeah. Try to.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Evelyn. That I muted myself instead of Evelyn. I muted the wrong person. Yikes. Thank you. Thank you, Wayne. Because I'm going, what's Wayne going on about there? um, I believe we just got started. Yeah. I think 2024, let me go 2023. 2023 was we were just laying the foundation, putting all the systems and everything in place. Stephen Gina Merritt, our leaders in the USA, I think they also needed that time just to put all of their systems in place. So I think globally, that's what was happening all around the world. Everybody was just letting the dust settle. Because if you think about it, think very carefully, X39 was launched just before COVID, just before COVID. So it didn't have that like birth that it was meant to have because everything slowed down. Listen, the company still did $28 million turnover during COVID, which is not too shabby, right? But I believe what started to happen is in 2022, that's when this baby started growing its little legs and running and running. And that was 2022. Going into 2023, all of a sudden, we've started to realize this is what we've got our hands on. Systems were put into place last year. And I believe with all the systems that have been put into place globally, I believe that right now, 2024, this is when we are starting. So, Evelyn, I'm so glad you mentioned that. I agree with you totally. We are all here, guys, right in the beginning. This is the beginning. Every single one of us on this call, 37 people on the call, right? We are the pioneers. We are the pioneers. We are right at the beginning of a rocket ship that is ready to go into orbit, ready to go into orbit. And I tell you what, we've always got to be grateful, and we've always got to keep this in the top of our mind all the time, guys, is that we have a product that, number one, works, that we know. Number two, that it's got a patent. I don't think we quite realize how lucky we are to be part of this beautiful company with this beautiful product with a patent. And I tell you, I don't know what industries, companies you work for, whatever it is that you do for a living. I'm going to ask you all a question. I'm going to ask you a question. Whatever you do right now for a living, whatever you studied for, whatever job you're in, whatever company you might own, if all of a sudden, whatever you're currently doing in your life, there was no competition, how different would your life be right now if you had no competition? Imagine if every aspect of competition that you've had and you've been struggling against, fighting against for year after year after year. Imagine if I came and said, your competition has now vanished. Would that make a difference in your life? Yes, it would. Yes, it would. And let me tell you, this is where we're sitting right now in a situation where we've got something that nobody can copy. And you know what that does? That can give us a bit of an inner self-confidence, an inner self-confidence. And let me tell you, if I come up with an objection or somebody says placebo, like what Paige was saying right now, and this person says this is placebo, I start laughing because I can't help myself. I actually start laughing. I think, did you actually really just say that? As Dr. Wayne Dyer says, the highest form of ignorance is rejecting something you know nothing about. Rejecting something you know nothing about. That's what Dr. Wayne Dyer says. So my biggest thing is placebo. Have a look at Pop Up the dog. Have a look at that little doggy clip and have a look at what it's done for horses. Horses don't lie. Have a look at this clip. Completely takes the placebo myth and throws it out the window completely. So anyway, so in finishing off, what I want to quickly tell everybody about is our road trip schedule coming up. So yes, there's people overseas right now, and you might be thinking, oh, but Chris, you're doing a South African roadshow. Yeah. And I'm sure you know somebody in South Africa. Everybody on this call, you know somebody in South Africa.
And it's also the person that you know that knows somebody in South Africa. So it's through the person that you will find
Yeah,
the
because
person.
what happens is when it comes to human beings and people, you're either working for somebody, you're either working with somebody, or you're working through somebody. And when I mean working through somebody, is you jumping in and helping beyond that person. That's what teamwork is all about, because we all help each other as a beautiful community here. So when it comes to the presentations that we're doing, so guys, we're leaving on Monday. Not Monday, Sunday. We're leaving on Sunday. We're going to be gone from home for a long time. We are leaving Sunday. We're going to be in Bloemfontein. We've got 3 presentations on Monday, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 6 o'clock. The Tuesday.
Bilingual presentations.
Bilingual presentations. And then Tuesday, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Wednesday, we've got a presentation in Colesberg. We're staying over with Jesse. Then we're going down to Cape Town on Thursday. We're hitting the ground running. First presentation, Milnerton Library, 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. And then we've got presentations on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Multiple
Tuesday.
a day.
Multiple a day. Like 2-3 presentations a day all around Cape Town. So we're going to be setting Cape Town on fire. So all you have to do is, Lucinda's been working literally flat out, finding venues, booking venues. Guys, we're booking 21 venues. You know how hard it is to book 21 venues remotely? So that's what we're doing. We've booked 21 venues. We're busy putting them together. I'm doing the deposits. I'm doing payments and all that stuff tomorrow, securing all of the venues. Then the roster is going to come out with the address. The invite is going to come out. Each presentation is going to have its own individual invite that Lucinda is going to be putting together. All you got to do is send a person there. Send a person there and just get them to ask for us and say who sent you. So, for example, a person might come up and say, hi, my name's John. Robin from Botswana sent me. Nice to meet you. And guys, let us present for you. Let us serve you. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you. We're here to present on your behalf, because presenting is something people naturally don't want to do. So that means that you don't have to. Let the 3% of people that don't fear the presentations as much as they, let them do it. And people sometimes look at me and say, "Oh, Chris, you're so good at speaking on Zoom. You can do public talking and all that." Guys, let me tell you something. It didn't start that way. Didn't start that way. I was a little introverted at school. I was a very introverted little dude. Let me tell you something. And when I had to go stand up and do a speech, my head stood there and froze. I couldn't talk. I had a full-on panic attack. I could not talk, couldn't speak. And I had to teach myself through self-development, through reading, through audio tapes. I taught myself how to do public speaking and presenting. That's with anything in life. This beautiful industry that we're in, this beautiful industry, there are so many tools available, and we belong to the most amazing team. Guys, we belong to the fastest growing team in the whole company. This is a team. And guys, I just saw that Harvey, I didn't know Harvey was going to be on the call. I just saw your comment. Let's see. Harvey, would you like to just pop in and say hello to us and maybe close the meeting off for us? It was so awesome seeing you on the call. Where is Mr. Harvey?
While you find him, I'm
Yeah,
going
I found him.
to add something.
Okay.
What we want to ask everybody is, yes, the invites will go out together with the roster with all the dates. They might change here and there, but just send out the invites. Like I said earlier, you don't know who your friends know. You might not have anybody that you know in wherever we are, Bloemfontein, areas in the Cape, names on the list. Send it through. They might know somebody that they want to send. At the end of the day, this is how we create awareness. This is how we spread the word that LifeWave is a product to look at. This is something that we need to create and look at. So you just never know where the seed's going to fall and where it can take people and who needs this. So part of our duty and obligation is to just create awareness around it. And if we can do that, then it's half the battle won. So thank you for everybody that's sharing that, and we will keep you posted as we go. All yours, Harvey.
Let's see, where's Harvey? There he is. So nice to see you.
Hey, I try to hide as best as I can, to let you people lead and just listen to you guys teach and lead. That inspires me. And till today I take notes. they said some great things that I'm going to incorporate in my business and in my organization. And so I just couldn't help but type. I shouldn't have typed because then now I'm here. But I like sometimes to sit in the corner like a fly in the wall and just look at people interact and identify other leaders and how they interact and how they identify themselves and see what you're teaching. And it's amazing. I could only say that it's true. These in-person meetings have so much power, and Zoom is great. It is I think it's a great technology, especially what happened in this world. But I've been in this profession going on 16 and a half years. I did this before Zoom was ever created. I was on planes, trains, and automobiles. And we're going to go on planes, trains, and automobiles again. And to know that you have the support from people around the world that's on your team to want to help you, guys, that's inspiring. And that's the one thing that I wanted to bring back in this profession was the support and the love in the community that's actually happening here. And it's not to get the kudos and say, oh my God, thank you for supporting me. That's our job, okay, to support you, to help you win. I utterly want to see you people win. And it's so funny because, Chris is saying right now, listen, count on me to present for you, to work for you. Guess what? I'm over here working for Chris and Lucinda. I'm here reaching out to other leaders. Hey, let me connect with you. Let me do a meeting for you. Why? Because I want their business to grow as well. Okay, so I'm over here and I'm looking at people and how they interact. I'm seeing the Paige's story is incredible. Adri, Lois, I'd never met you, but you're so into this Zoom. Where are you? How can we help you? And I'm talking about everybody here. Lorraine, you as well. How can we help you? And all these leaders are here. This is not just for one single person. This is for everybody. And the support is bar none the best that you're going to see. And when Chris says that This Is It team is the fastest growing team that oversaw the growth of LifeWave itself. Now, that's powerful. For corporate to come and say that at our virtual event that we outgrew LifeWave, that means we're doing something right. Okay, that means you're on the actual right team. That means you're duplicating the right things. That means you're going to win. Everybody wants to live in this microwave world that they want fast results. I'd rather be a crock pot and lather and soak it all in and be the leader that I'm supposed to be. And that's what everybody is doing here. You're soaking in this information, but listen to me. The no's, don't get discouraged. I get no's every day. But I'm constructed, I'm already wired to speak to the 101st person. I'm here to tell you no is a good thing, and it's not a bad thing. You may be protected from someone who's going to give you drama in your business that you didn't even want. Okay, so remember, you're building a legacy of people who you want to build something for a lifetime. Like Doc, I've known Dr. Ali, Helen, and Chris since the first time they've been here. They can't get rid of me now. I'm like a booger to a nose. They can't pick me out if they want to. I'm here forever. So it's going to be hard to get rid of me. But why? Because of the relationship that you've built. You understand? So keep in mind that when Chris and Lucinda says they want to work for you, they want to work for you. If I say, hey, let me work for you, let's get in a Zoom, let's connect, let me show you how to win, because we want to see you win. South Africa is my baby. It is. I want to change everything in South Africa. The way people think, the way people earn, the way people act, their confidence, their posture. Why? Because I'm purpose-driven. When they told me that South Africa has this type of dynamic, I almost threw up. I said, nah, we got to change this. And look what's happening here. It's being changed. One person at a time, one patch at a time. And it's such a beautiful thing to see grow. Such a beautiful thing to see grow. So, hey, I said a lot of times that, we're going to go out there. We have childcare issues. Going to South Africa is not a 2-day trip for us. Okay. I'm going to be out there for 7 days. And, we have 3 boys and we need someone to stay with them. We have an au pair coming in August. So that'll make things much easier. Also, we would have been over there already. So I always say a good thing at a bad time can be a curse. So going out there we're talking about no holds barred. I'm going out there to work every day on tour, going to different parts of South Africa to help people. And why? Because we want to change the way people think that they're deserving to have the success that you want to have. Okay. It's all a mindset, folks. It's all a mindset thing. So listen to me. These in-person meetings, if you do one in your house, do it, even if it's with 2 people. Okay, that will get you out of your comfort zone. It'll stretch you to see something about you that you thought you never had. Okay, I remember when I first started my first meetings, when I first started, they said the faster you're independent, the faster your business is going to grow. Great. And you know something? And I think I said the story before. At my first company, it was a juice, and it had something called certified fatty acids in it. I said the certified fatty acids. Now, I didn't care. I just wanted to win, okay? Everyone laughed at me, but they all joined. Why? Why? He could do it. I can do it. It's all about reading the chart and showing something that you're resolving a problem, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. How is it resolving your problem? You all know why you got into LifeWave. Tell your story. Read the presentation. Someone's going to see what you see. And if someone doesn't see what you see, it's not meant for them to see. It's just that simple. A no is a wonderful thing. I like no's. I really do. It doesn't bother me. Here's the deal. You guys, and I reiterate this, are the pioneers of South Africa. You. And this is not everybody. You guys are going to change the whole dynamic of South Africa. Ali's going to change the whole dynamic of the UK. Helen's going to change the whole dynamic of Cyprus. And even the people she has in South Africa. Not to put pressure on you, I'm just saying the truth. Someone's got to do it. And I tell you right now, let's say this is not going to happen. If I say, you know what, I'm done with LifeWave. I'm not going to do it anymore. Chris is going to say, you are crazy. I'm going to continue to do this. It's going to happen with or without me. It's going to happen with or without you. I don't want a year from now you to say, wow, all these 34 people on this Zoom did some amazing things for LifeWave a year from now, and you're going to live the pain of regret for not just doing one more thing every day. One more thing. You feel defeated. Sometimes you feel defeated, and it's okay. It's part of your growth process. But I'm going to tell you a story. I had a friend who was an alcoholic, okay? And he came out of, he graduated from being alcoholic in AA, and I asked him, do you ever feel like quitting every time that you were in Alcoholic Anonymous? He goes, I feel like quitting every day. And I said, you know what? If you ever feel that way, always say to yourself, let me not quit for one more day. Don't quit for one more day. Okay, that one day ended up to 365 days, ended up into 2 years, ended up into 3 years. He's been clean now for 4 years because he said every day, let me not quit one more day. So if you're feeling defeated here because someone told you no, listen, my first no was my mom. To think that she would buy something from me, okay? When I first started 16 years ago, I am not taking your juice. I'm not drinking it. I'm not taking care of your kids. I'm not doing nothing. Okay, no problem. So if that didn't hurt, if someone tells you it's a friend and says a no, come on, so what? It's not a big deal. You understand? A no means not now. They're not ready. You probably caught them when they were pissed off about something. They got a bill in the mail they have to pay. They don't know how to do it. Mind you, trying to show them a way to resolve their problem. Let me tell you this, and I'll end it with this. You're being watched right now for every person who told you no. They're watching you. They're watching you to see what you do. I think they're one of the most dumbest thing they can do because it's just a waste of time. Understand? Say yes, tell the world, figure it out, and we're going to build a great team here. I see it right now. Anyway, Chris, I didn't want to talk. I just wanted to see you guys lead, but, you put me on blast like you did to everybody else today. That's okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Kavi. Thank you for popping in at the end there. I saw you that last minute there. Thank you for popping onto our Zoom call. I really appreciate it. And thank you for everything you do for us. Thank you for everything you do for our team. And very nice reminder there about the no's. Guys, there's a saying in this industry, SW, 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 next. Guess what that means? Some will, some won't. So what? Next. Because let me tell you, if I had to think about the amount of people that have joined me on this journey, some people think, I spoke to 45 people and 44 people joined. it didn't work that way. I probably spoke to 300 people before 40 people joined it. It's all a process because, as Harvey was saying, you got a person at the wrong time. And as you're saying, a no does not mean no. A no just means not right now. So we must never, ever, 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 ever give up, because one person can change your life for the rest of your life. And you just don't know when that person's going to come. You've all seen that picture of that guy digging under the tunnel in the mine. And he's like this far, and there's little pictures of the little diamonds there. And he was digging, digging, digging. And right at the last minute, he turned away and he didn't realize that all it took was maybe 2 or 3 more little hits with a pick, and the diamonds were right there. So don't give up before the magic happens.
See, just not to interrupt you, Chris, but the one thing I'm going to say, someone's always going to come to you and say you're wasting your time or try to take your dream away. I know Chris has encountered this many times, okay? But I always say this: bees never waste their time explaining to flies why honey is better than shit. Okay? Remember that. You never waste their time why honey is better than shit. Remember that when someone's trying to tell you that you're wasting your time. Always. All right. I love you guys. I got to hop on another meeting.
Love you too. Thank you, Kobe. Love you all. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Looking forward to seeing you in person, giving you all physical hugs, and looking forward to meeting your people. Send your people. Let us do the work for you. Okay, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and love you all. See you all soon. Bye, guys.